yeah, do we have vice grips too? Okay, so, okay, these, no. This, yes. Why don't we use these to loosen the nut on there?
So you can strip it out.
Right, because it'll round off all the corners on the nut there. Then we have to replace it because these are for, you know, grabbing a wide range of different materials that don't have sort of parallel sides that the nut has for using this adjustable wrench. So, no, yes, okay. So, thank you very much. That's why we have them in two bins now too. See, we have 2 different bins. So we just go on here, we match that to the size, lefty-loosey. And there's another one. Oh no, wait, is it the other one? Oh man. You know, every lathe is a little bit different, so. I have 2 at home, so I get confused. I used to have 3, but I got rid of one when I moved down here. Okay, so this is the one that adjusts the cross slide. There we go. And to get the jaws of the wrench in there, you may have to switch it back and forth like I am. And there's a nut on each side, lefty-loosey. Lefty-loosey. Whee! Now this will be very, very helpful for you guys. And so here is an angle guide, and there's a right in line with this nut here is a little inscribed line that I know with all of the accumulated filth is hard to see. But there really is a line there, right? I'm not lying. They're backing me up on that. So what you want to do to set your angles is you want to think about how it's going to be traveling, and you want to set it at half the angle that you have to cut. Huh? What? Huh? All right, so, like for instance, we'll set this at, if we're doing one that's 15, then we can do like 7.5. Nah, that's a long one, that'll take longer. We'll do like 30. That'll be good. All right, so if we want to do 60, then we're doing 30. So I set it to there. Tighten this back down. Oh, I think I might actually get through all the demos today. It's going to be so exciting. Gives you guys extra working time. You should be really happy. I'm going to have like no brain by the end of it. But that's okay. Okay, so we've set this. So then what we use this for, now that it's no longer in alignment here, is to maintain that perfect angle to cut the end of your piece for that. So you want to kind of do a dry run. Now we can see here, I don't know if you can see how this is a crisp corner, and see how that looks like little rats were chewing on it? Okay, now rats do not chew on steel. Not any that I know, but maybe Texas rats do. But probably what happened is one of these jaws here, this was, you know, there, got too close or something, and that's what happens is you knock those corners off. It makes big scary sounds, and you like freak out, and you forget where the power button is, and then you hit it too far, and then it reverses, and it's like, so don't panic. It's okay. It may happen. It's not the end of the world. Now, this lathe, since it is, you know, common usage in the studio, and people work with it in a variety of different care, it's got a little bit of play in there. So that's just like wiggle. So for those of you that are highly detail oriented, which I know many of you in the metals world are, don't expect miracles out of this thing. So if we can get some good angled things that look like Tim's set, then we should be happy with that. I'm going to move this a little bit further in. It doesn't really need to be hanging out in space so much. But this is, inevitably what I do is I like hit my knuckles on stuff. That's what always made me crazy. I would have your tool sort of as close to this end as possible. Back this away. And not, now the key here is I'm just going to start knocking off the corner because I want to take this cylinder down to this, right? So I'm not going to start all the way back up here and try and cut and carve off this like giant chunk. You can get away with that with wax. You're not going to get away with that with tool steel. So what you want to do is just start, just like we did with the bench grinder, start taking that chamfer off and just little by little. So again, I'm looking, just all the same things apply as I'm looking for my 0 point. I'm making sure that I'm just grazing. So I'm actually not even touching yet. And so I'm ready. I'm going to get some sheening oil, but this will be good enough for right now. Turn that on. I'm standing off to the side, so maybe you guys can see a little bit better. Normally, I would be like right here, not directly in this path in case something did break and came off that way, but slightly off to the side, but not so far off to the side that I can't see what's going on. So normally when I'd be working, I would be like right here. So not right in that alignment, but not all the way over here. I'm just standing off to the side so maybe you guys can see a little bit better. So this is the Etch-a-Sketch part. Remember, this is secured down. I've retightened this, everything's secure. I don't know if you can see it start rounding off. So I kind of make a couple passes to make sure I cut it all the way off. And then I just crank this just a titch. It's kind of like the rolling mill. You don't crank the rolling mill like all the way down. Just a little bit. Shave it again. Back and forth, just a little bit. And I just kind of keep going until I'm going to get close to a point. See, I'm just kind of etch-a-sketching my way along. Ooh, anybody want to try? All right, we have a volunteer, so you're going to go run and get a face shield. In the polishing room. Right there. You could go out to the back deck where we have. So these, the shavings are starting to come off. We're not getting big peeling curls that are all sort of like pretty and romanticized. Which, by the way, in case you're curious, is called swarf. S-W-A-R-F.
Really? Is it called that when you get them with drilling too?
Yeah, just those.
I didn't know it had a name.
It has a name. Okay. All right. You've done some machining before, though, right? Yeah, right.
Don't screw up. I'm kidding. No pressure.
It's not like 20 people are behind you watching.
There's 20 people all around you watching.
It's not like it's being videotaped or anything.
And we know Jorge's a perfectionist.
It's not like the area heads here supervising you too.
I'm here to learn.
Okay, he's coming in. I'll narrate. So he's coming in, he's finding that 0 point where he's just grazing. And you're going to go back and forth across it, right? I'd move this. So just bring it in there, move that one back and forth across it. There you go. And I just find just because it has a lot of play in it that I go back and forth across a couple times without moving the cross feet. He did a great thing where he took his hand off the cross feet to